Hello again, this is Robert, 50 Years of Chess. I have another game for you. This time it's against an Indian 13-year-old arena candidate master. Good young player. Very interesting game. I'm going to show you it now. I was playing black and he began with e4, c5, knight f3, d6, bishop c4. Now these are rapid play games, they're only 15 minutes, so we don't have an awful lot of time to think. I played e6, knight c3, knight f6, d4, cd, knight takes d, a6. So this is a Scheveningen type opening in the Sicilian for black. And the lad played bishop g5. So I played bishop e7, he swapped off, and I went back with a knight to f3. So he knows what he's doing, I can see that. So I played b5, bishop b3, knight c6, e5. Bit surprised, to be honest, because after pawn takes pawn, even if he goes queen takes queen, I got bishop takes queen or knight takes queen. Either way, I still hang on to the pawn. But I guess he feels that's a good move. So I took with the knight. Now he's gone knight takes knight. And I just take bishop takes. So I'm happy with that. I'm on pawn up. And so he's gone queen d3, bishop e7, and he castled. Now, it would be tempting to take the pawn on g2, but after rook g1, he will have a strong attack on that his king side, I should say. He'll have a strong attack down his king side if and when I castle that side, because I'm not going to castle on this queen side with all these pawns pushed out. And generally in this Sicilian opening, you tend to castle king side and attack down the queen side. So the game continued with castle. He played rook e1, so he's got all his pieces developed. He's concentrating on the centre. I'm not going to take the a pawn because he can just play b3 and the bishop's trapped. And again, I'm not going to take the b pawn either because it'll just open up attack against my king. So I'm not interested in doing that. I played bishop check on f4. This will cause him to go king b1. So that's a good chance as a back rank mate, maybe in the endgame. So I pushed on the d pawn to deny him the opportunity of playing knight into e4, and I've also given him only knight to e2 to go to. So he attacked my bishop first of all, so I've gone back to d6. I thought about it and I thought, hang on a minute, you can go knight e4, and if I take, you take on d6. So maybe I should have gone to c7, not sure. But if I'm going to advance that e pawn, I'm going to need the support of the bishop probably. So anyway, I've played it, bishop d6, and he's gone knight into e4 as I expected. So I've gone back to e7, which I'm happy about because in a minute when his knight moves, I can play bishop f6, and my bishop will be beautiful, like a dragon bishop bearing down on b2. So move the knight back. Queen to b6 first of all, so I can connect my rooks and get some real attacking chess going down his queen side. He's played f4, so he's beginning his assault against my king now. First of all, he wants to try and isolate that d pawn by swapping off, hoping I'll take on f5, or he would take, I takes, and then I've got a weak e6 pawn. So I brought my rook across to d8. He did have knight, bishop, queen, and rook all bearing down on that d pawn. It's possible he might have sacked to break up my middle. He would have pinned a piece down, but he would have had a freer game. So I'm making sure that doesn't happen. Now he's gone knight to e2. a5. Now he's got to do something about his bishop because it's going to get trapped there. So he's played f3. Yeah, he wants to play bishop back to b2. Bishop back to c2, threatening checkmate on h7. So I push the other pawn. And this is nice because if he swaps pawns, I can retake with the queen or the bishop, attacking his rook, or even pawn takes. So I'm really starting to. He weakened himself by playing f3, but he had to do it, which is what I wanted. So he's gone back now, threatening the mate. Now, and I can't go pawn takes pawn. He's thinking if he takes pawn, I'll checkmate him, but I wasn't going to do that. So I played g6, and then he played pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn. So now I've got a real chance of attacking his king. Get my rooks in play here. He's gone rook across to h1. That's a bit strange. I'm not sure why I played that. I wouldn't even try to work it out, but I don't think it's a good move. So now I played bishop f6. This was the obvious move, threatening checkmate and giving me my fianchetto bishop in play now. Now he's played b3. Now, once he's done this, he's lost control of the c3 square. And it gives me even more possibilities. So I played the rook across first to c8, giving me 3 pieces bearing down on the c3 square. He's so weak around with a black squares around his king. This can't be good, and it's got to be near the end for him. So I'm going to be going for a mate. Now he's trying to push his pawn on. I'm not worried about that. I'm going for the mate. Queen to a3. He's got to block that mate, which is the only way he can do it is with the knight. Now I worked this out, that if he goes, oh by the way, I've got about 6 minutes, he's got about 4 minutes. I worked this out, if I go queen to a3 threatening mate, he has to play knight to e4. So by doing that, I can then go back with my queen to c5, and he's just about holding that position, but only temporarily. So if he does go knight to e4, I go queen back to c5, just one little move wrong, and I've got bishop takes knight, queen takes bishop, and then queen takes bishop check, winning me a piece on c2. So he's played it, knight into e4. I've gone back to c5, and now he's played h5. So he's made the mistake now, because after bishop takes knight, queen takes, I've got queen takes c2, just as I said. So, but first I want to kick that bishop, that queen away onto another square. I need to kick the bishop, the queen with the bishop onto another square before I play queen takes. So I've got to play bishop takes knight, queen takes bishop, queen takes bishop, king a1. So this is nice. He's also got threats of h6 and threatening checkmate on h7. So I've got to get the queens off, which is always good to do that when you're piece up. Queen to c3 check, queen takes queen, rook takes queen. No more worry about checkmate. This is excellent. I've now got a piece and a pawn up. It's just a matter of technique now and experience against a young opponent. So he played pawn takes pawn. What else? Pawn takes pawn with the h pawn. And then he pushed the pawn on because I'm attacking it with my rook. king h7, so he can't double his rooks up on me in the corner. He's pushed that pawn on again. Makes sense to do that, I guess, to stop the king from coming out. So we played g5. Now I'm offering a rook swap, and he should not take it, but he did. But it doesn't matter. He's played king b2, attack the pawn on c4, and he's played rook to c1. It's nothing for him. Rook takes pawn, rook attacks bishop, bishop comes in d3, rook attacks pawn on f7, which is protected by the rook anyway. He's going to get the a pawn, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to push my own pawns on. King into g7, rook a7, rook back to f5, rook takes pawn, rook takes pawn. Now I've got my passed pawn, so I can get ready to push on. So he's going to do the same for sure. King to f3, bishop back to e4. Now he's moving his king across so he can push that a pawn on, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to do the same. Rook to f5. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. But he made a mistake now by going in king to d4. I really don't know why he did that. I really don't, because I've now got the advantage in the pawn race. It would have been evens, but he would have had the extra move. I don't think it would have won it for him or anything like that. But that's a shocking move. I don't know why he played that. I mean, I can, if I wanted to, I could just play e5 check, move his king back. But I've just looked at something. I queen, e queens, or rather he goes, but when I get my pawn on g1 queen, he reaches the a7 square, and then I've got check. And if you have a look where his king is, he's only got one square he can go to, which is c3. So I pick up the rook with check. He has to move the king, then I pick up the a7 pawn. So that's beautiful. Yeah, we'll play that. Pawn on, pawn on, pawn on, pawn on, pawn on, pawn on. As you can see, I get there first. Check, king moves, takes a rook check, takes a pawn check, and there's really very little he can do. He should resign now, but being a young lad, they don't like to do that, do they? So you push pawn, I push pawn, king, c1. Now I'm setting him up for a mate by playing rook down to f2 and threatening mate on a1. So he couldn't do much. I could have done it there and then, but with the clock now really racing, I forgot. But it doesn't matter when you're so far ahead like this. You can be a bit complacent. I should have just gone down queen a1. That's mate. But I did see it straight after, and so I'm going to play it next move, whatever he does. Here we go. So it's over. Yeah, he played well for quite a bit of time, but he never couldn't lay a glove on me, as you can see in my side of the board, because I put him under intense pressure on his side of the board first. And you know, as a bullying tactic, this is how you have to play sometimes, especially against juniors, because they want to beat the hell out of you always. But if you get them pushed back and get them defending, then they tend to wriggle around in their seats and things. But I couldn't see what this lad was doing, but I should imagine he was feeling the heat a bit. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I'll bring back some more. Cheers. Bye.